Welcome to the Cabrera Lab Podcast.
Hey.
Hey.
How's it going? What's mean?
Awesome.
All right. You're very fast times at Ridgemont High sometimes.
That was basically my high school.
Was it Spicoli?
I was pretty much
Just Spicoli. If you haven't watched that, go watch it.
That was like literally, quite literally what my high school was like.
Okay. Today is exciting. Today is a continuation, another episode about culture codes.
Yep.
As you recall, culture code, central tenets, beliefs, values that groups hold and share in common,
Yep.
direct their work, how they feel about themselves, how they interact with each other.
Yep.
As a quick review.
Yeah, and if you want a more thorough review of the culture code and what it's for, how it works, what it's all about, go to the last episode.
One back.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to continue our conversation about
Yeah.
this.
Dive in to the next one.
Okay, the first one, if you've been watching the podcast, you should know this one already. Love reality. Yes? Loving reality means leave your assumptions and biases behind. Be open and vulnerable to the present moment. Open to the feedback reality is giving you. Rid yourself of the hubris that you know what's going on long enough to actually know what's actually going on. That's a great line. So stop shoulding over everything. Shoulding. Be deeply curious of how things are, not how you want them to be. Loving reality does not mean accepting it as it is, but no change will occur until you're honest with yourself about where you're at. Loving reality is the hardest thing to teach, but the most impactful thing you can learn. So, love reality today.
Like you said, we've had whole episodes on the love reality loop and how it works and all that stuff. So go there if you want to know more about it. But it's basically the idea that we want to get rid of two of the most important biases. Two of the most prevalent biases: reality bias, which is the bias that we are just experiencing reality directly.
Yep.
When in reality, we're building mental models and seeing things through those mental models.
Yep.
And then confirmation bias is when we fit reality to our mental model rather than fitting the mental model to reality, changing the mental model. So when we say the love reality loop, what we're saying is love reality more than your mental model.
Yes.
Because your mental model is wrong if it's not in alignment with reality.
Yes.
So,
and therefore the things you do will not give you the outcomes you want.
yeah,
because
the decisions you make, the things you do, your actions you take, none of them will work because they're out of alignment with the way reality is actually structured and working. And so that's reality giving you feedback, which is doing all the time, if you're listening, that your mental model was wrong.
Yeah, and I kind of think that love reality is the anti-bullshit rule.
Yeah.
Like, don't bullshit yourself that you understand everything perfectly, and don't bullshit other people that things are a way that they're not.
Yeah.
It's the anti-bullshit thing.
You have to be deeply curious, which we talked about on the last podcast and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, next one. Find your fit. People don't know this probably from the podcast, but we actually call ourselves the land of misfit toys as a group, as a team. Because we have a lot of diversity in our team. People come from a lot of different dimensions and areas. We have neurodivergence, neurotypicality.
Yeah, hippies, veterans.
All kinds of
you name
people.
it, everybody.
And the question that we ask people is your job with us making you as happy as a goat in mud? If not, it should. Fittedness is the key. It means achieving a seamless match between you and your environment, ensuring ecological efficiency and sustainability. Will there be tough days? Yes. But you shouldn't settle for a job that doesn't match your unique qualities. So instead of trying to force fit for your whole life, be it with friends, work, or relationships, find the ones that naturally suit you. Change yourself, your surroundings, or both to achieve fittedness. Start finding your fit today.
Yeah, I just think this is such an important idea. Again, professionally, in your personal and your professional life, it comes from evolution. That we talked in the last podcast. One of these is evolve, and evolution is deeply dependent on adaptation, and adaptation is fittedness. Right, you're fitting to your niche or to your environment, and so finding fit at every level of scale is critically important because, when you're fit to your environment, you're going to be unstoppable. You're going to be the best.
Yes.
But when you can take somebody that's the best in one environment, put them in another environment, and they're just like a train wreck.
Yeah.
Right? So the key to all organizations and people, individuals and organizations, is to find fit.
Yeah.
Organizations have to find fit in their marketplace. They have to find product market fit.
Yeah.
People have to find fit in their organizations, and just because they don't fit in one particular area of the organization doesn't mean they won't fit in another, or one job doesn't mean you won't fit in another.
Right.
So it's about finding that fit, and that allows you to be the maximum contributor that you're capable of if you find fit.
Yeah, it also means as a team, if somebody, it's about the dynamic, right? It's about the relationship. So it's not my fault or your fault. It's just not a fit.
Yeah.
It's neutral. That's natural. It happens sometimes, and it's no harm, no foul.
Totally.
You tried.
Yeah.
And either it works or it doesn't. But it's a nice way to think about it, because I know many people are like, oh, well, I didn't do well in this. I didn't do well in that. Well, think about it as you didn't find the place that you fit.
You didn't find fit.
The place that taps into your unique talents.
And when you find fit, it just clicks, and things feel like, then you know it, and things just go well magically because you found fit.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're always encouraging folks to find their fit.
Yeah, either within or without, inside or outside.
Yeah.
But we want everybody to be happy and where they want to be.
It's a short life. You better find fit.
Yeah.
Otherwise you're wasting time.
Well, and it feels shorter as you get
If you
older.
haven't found it yet, make your goal to find it.
So you can die happy. Okay, serve others. The best way to stop being miserable is to help others less fortunate than yourself. It makes you feel good, and it makes you appreciate what you have. Helping others is the tried and true way to live a happy life. We exist to serve others. Serve them today.
I think when I think about the times that I've been most miserable in my life, it's the times where I'm focused on self and my problems and my worries and my whatevers, even in the micro on a daily basis, but also in the macro, like an era of life or something like that. And I think, people are going to disagree, but I think this is what in many ways is wrong with modern psychology, is a lot of times where we're causing people or incentivizing people to focus on all their issues instead of being like, hey, why don't you go down and just like help some people that are in need, and you're going to start to feel better immensely right away.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because it changes your perspective.
It changes your perspective. It changes your agency, its action. So I just think that the ethic of serving others, whether it's the deeply organizational ethic of serving others, which is the epitome of capitalism, and organizational success, which is serving the customer with the customer's needs, rather than like what you want to do, or whether it's just as at a personal or individual level, serving others, whether it be your children or your wife or your husband or your neighbor or whatever. Mm-hmm. I just think it's an ethic that pays off in spades. Like the ROI, the return on investment of serving others, is happiness.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just get tremendous joy out of it and tremendous comfort. And it just so happens that it's something that applies fractally to the individual personal and the professional and the organizational, because like I said, organizationally, if you're not serving your customer, then you're hosed. So.
Well, and also when we were talking about team, if you're not serving your team,
totally,
your team's not going to do well.
And your team's not going to serve you, and then it becomes this cycling down dynamic rather than cycling up. So spinning
downward. What would you call that? Spiraling.
Oh
yeah, the toilet
bowl effect. Yeah,
that's right. Okay, this is a good one, and actually I learned a lot about this. This is one actually that I learned about through our cultural code a little bit, because we worked on this together. Be vulnerable.
Yeah.
And vulnerability is widely misunderstood. It is not open to attack or weakness, but strength and capacity. It is the crux of trust. People believe that vulnerability occurs once there's trust, but science tells us that it's the exact opposite. Trust occurs once we are vulnerable. So be strong and be vulnerable today.
Yeah, I think this one's super, super big time. a lot of folks believe that I'll be more vulnerable once I know I can trust you.
Right.
But that's kind of cart before the horse.
Yeah.
The way we build trust is we show a little bit of vulnerability. And I show some and you show some, and then trust is built.
Yes.
So vulnerability is the path to trust, not the other way around. And I think one of the hardest things in life is to go into the world, and the world's a contact sport. Real life adulting is a contact sport.
Yeah.
In contact sports, you're going to get cut up, you're going to get beat up, you're going to get bruised up.
That's true.
And the hardest thing in life is to kind of not say, "Oh, I'm never doing that again." I dated and I got hurt, and I'm never doing that again.
But our tendency is to do that.
Our tendency is to do that, and if you do that, you're going to never do a lot of things again.
Yeah.
And that means you're never going to get good at those things. And some of those things are really important, like meeting the right person to live your life with is really important.
Yeah.
And if you don't try again, you're not going to get good at it.
Right.
And if the first time you get your heart broken, you don't say, "Well, I'm going to get back out there and play the game," then you're not going to get the benefits of that game.
Yeah.
So
it involves some risk.
Yeah, it involves risk, and it really is it really is a contact sport. Like life is rough. Life can be it can be difficult,
but it also cannot be.
Yeah,
at times.
So I think remaining vulnerable. That's why this gets at the strength. Remaining vulnerable in the face of all the prickly bushes of life.
Yeah,
is a strength.
Yes.
Not a weakness.
Yes.
It takes strength to remain vulnerable, even when you're charging through a thicket of prickly, thorny bushes.
Yeah.
That is life. It takes real strength to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
But that vulnerability, again, will have such a huge payout that it's really important to keep being vulnerable. So if you get screwed over, try again.
Yeah.
Be vulnerable. And don't clam up.
Yeah.
Because it's very natural to clam up, and you got to kind of like keep opening, keep opening. A
little bit of risk, a lot of reward.
Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by STSI, the Systems Thinking Standards Institute.
Yes, super excited to work with STSI, raising the standard for 8 billion systems thinkers, science-based standards, training, the professional systems thinking credential, accreditation for organizations, the systems thinking or thinker toolkit. And so I really encourage folks to go to stsi.pro, take the trainings, get the credentials, get your organization accredited, get the toolkit. Yeah. It's good stuff.
Help us get to 8 billion.
And it's a 501c3 nonprofit.
Don't forget that.
It's a great partner.
Okay, this one we've done an entire episode on.
Yep.
Have integrity.
Yeah, this is one of my big ones.
Yeah, and I think what's important is when we say integrity, it means being honest with yourself. It means that your words and actions align. To achieve this alignment, you can change words, change actions, or both. Integrity is the opposite of duplicity, so have integrity today.
Today. Yeah, keep going back to do this today. And like you said, we did a whole podcast episode on this. So if you want the lowdown on integrity, it's a pretty powerful concept. It just means that your words and actions align, and you do what you say and you say what you do, which means you can go two directions, which is important. I won't go too far into it because we did a podcast episode.
Yeah.
But integrity, man, it's so important, and we should be teaching it, at the smallest level.
Yeah. To the biggest level. To the biggest level,
because we need to be able when somebody says they're going to do something, we should be able to trust that they're going to do it,
Yeah.
It's, again, one of these really basic skills that not very many people practice, and you must practice it. You must hold yourself accountable to it.
Yeah.
And it pays off in spades if you do it.
Well, and I think this one is so highly connected and foundational to all of the other things we've talked about so far.
Yeah.
I think it's both foundational and highly related to all of the other ones that we've talked about, in my opinion. And it is actually, I think, something you can observably change. because
sure.
it's about that alignment. And you can observably change your behavior. You can observably change your words. And we talked about some of the pitfalls of that in the other episode. So if you want to hear more about that, you should go to that episode.
Yep.
Okay, we're really cooking with gas now. We're getting to the good ones. We're getting to the sort of meaty, foundational ones.
They're all good ones.
They're all good ones. That's all. That's right. They're
Yeah.
all. We've talked about integrity. We've talked about all kinds of things. I want to talk about courage.
Yes.
Courage is an important one. It's a topic that a lot of people are talking about, writing about. So be courageous. Courage requires us to manage our inner doubts and fears and take a chance that things will work out even if the result may require, here's the kicker, pain or grief, temporarily.
Yes.
Temporary pain or grief. Courage is not only in the face of mortal danger, but also our social fears. Fear of becoming what we are capable of becoming. That's an important one. Fear that we are greater than we imagine. Fear that we really can change the world. So we need to show courage in the smallest and largest endeavors, because without courage, there is no risk, and without risk, there's no reward. So be courageous today.
Yeah, I mean, again, these are just like really basal things that we need to teach more, practice more, do more, and have it on our list longer. You know, it's not like you hear about courage and then you're like, oh yeah, I got that one. You know, like you got to work on it your whole life.
Yeah.
And life being a prickly set of thorn bushes sometimes will cause you to want to shy away from courage, whether it be socially, whether it be physically, whether it be, you know, the one that a lot of people don't talk about is just intrapersonally, right? Like the courage to come out of your shell and be you and believe that you can actually do things that can change the world for the better. You know, how many people spend their whole life never really trying, never really becoming what they're capable of becoming?
Yeah.
And so that's courage.
Yeah.
Courage to stand up to things. It's a skill that, like any skill, the more you do it, the better you're going to be at it.
Yes. And I think we need to think about courage as a momentary act.
Yep.
And I also think it's important to really recognize your moments of courage when you've actually pushed yourself a little bit behind your limits, you know, past your limits, beyond your comfort zone. Because if you take a moment to see them and recognize them, you're going to have more of them. Right, you're going to gain that confidence.
That is so important, and it really is like the more you do it, the better you get at it. It becomes this reinforcing loop, and the thing is, you can have little micro moments of courage, like that moment where you're going to lie and you have the courage to tell the truth. Then you'll get good at telling the truth.
Yeah.
Right, you'll get good at telling the truth.
Yeah.
Because we all have that. We're all human. We all do silly human tricks, But if you have that courage in that tiny moment when you're about to lie, tell the truth, you know, or when you've lied, it makes it even harder to tell the truth.
Come clean.
And you have the courage in those moments, then you build a lifetime of that skill. Like you build almost the muscle memory of the skill of courage.
Yeah.
And so, again, this isn't something like, oh, yeah, courage, it's a really cool principle conceptually and all that. No, it's a skill that has to be practiced. And the more you do it, the better you get at it. The more you anti-do it, the better you get at not doing it.
That's true.
Right? And
it becomes habitual.
It becomes habitual.
Yeah. And
so
comfortable.
Courage is important.
Yeah.
And we need more of it.
Yeah.
We need to stand up to things. We need to say when things aren't right, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Well, we need to believe in ourselves.
And believe in ourselves. That's a huge
deal.
one. Yeah, that's a big deal.
That's a big deal. All right. We're going to end strong with Do the Right Thing.
Nice.
Which is
a good one.
A movie, but also...
It is a movie?
Yeah. Spike Lee movie.
Oh.
When we do the right thing, it makes us like ourselves. It makes us connect to ourselves as a friend would. It makes us have an internal friend in ourselves that never leaves us. See, that's nice. I like that. Doing the right thing makes us proud of ourselves and has transformative effects on who we are with ourselves. It makes us trust ourselves and makes us never alone. In turn, others trust us and follow our example. The world becomes better as we give people permission to choose to do the right thing. Don't just choose the easy thing. Choose the right thing and it becomes a habit. So we will do the right thing today.
Yeah, and the way this is phrased is really important because, at least for me, I had an experience when I was young. One of my biggest memories from childhood was with the nuns in Massachusetts, and they were mean. And I didn't like the way they treated kids, and I didn't like the way they treated me. And I had a nun that was she would just be mean to us. She'd hit us with the ruler and all kinds of stuff.
Let's be clear, you were a child at the time.
I was a kid.
You were a little kid.
Yeah. And it was kind of like I just didn't understand it, to be honest. It was the first time where I was like, God, like why is this person being mean to me? Mm-hmm. Like just for no reason. And it didn't make any sense why she was being mean to me. And she was mean to a lot of the kids, but in particular me, because I tended to stand up to her a little bit more and stuff like that. And I finally said, if your God lets you treat children this way, I don't want to know your God.
Yeah.
And I left.
Yeah.
And it was like a liberation moment.
Yeah.
And I was really sad because, my mom was deeply religious and stuff like that. And I went home and I told her, what had happened. And I said, I'm never...
acts of courage.
Yeah. I said, I'm never going back there. And she was like, oh, geez. And you could see, like, she was a little concerned. And but I remember she was really cool about it. She said, well, you can have a relationship with God like I do, and separated, like made a distinction between the church and God, and did what a great mom would do, and I ended up not having that because I'm an atheist, but it was, for me, having this external force that says this is what's right and this is what's wrong didn't work for me.
Yeah. Because
I didn't agree with the external source, right? And so this idea that when we do the right thing, when we know what the right thing is, and when we do it, it actually makes us a friend of ourselves.
Yes.
To me, that's the payoff, is that you look yourself in the mirror and you like yourself. And when you like yourself, the return on investment of that is huge, right? When you actually look in the mirror and like yourself. And a huge reason why you like yourself is because you know that you choose to do the right thing, even when it's difficult, even when it's hard.
Yeah.
Even when, you're going to take a beating for it, even though, even in the face of a lot of negative things, you're going to choose to do the right thing anyway.
Well, I think it's really important because it's a moment where you, for yourself, define the boundaries you won't cross.
Yeah.
And you get a sense of yourself. You get a sense of your ethics. You get a sense of, oh, this is who I am.
Yes.
I'm not going to put up with that.
Yes.
I don't agree with that.
Yes.
I will stand up against that.
Yep.
And to me, that's incredibly liberating. It's also incredibly empowering because like where you stand in the world, how you stand in the world.
Yep.
What your own sense of self and values are.
Yeah, I think it's critical.
Sorry, we've had moments with our kids where they've stood up against things and actually
against the whole school system and things like that.
And actually been on the brink of punishment.
Yep.
And
have actually gotten punished by different systems.
Yeah.
For doing the right thing.
Yeah. And
which is insane, but it's the way the world is.
We mirrored your mother and said, no, this is who you are.
Yep.
This was wrong. You were right to stand up against it. And we see that moment where they get a little sense of themselves.
Yeah. And I don't know, for me, the connection to, because I think a lot of people are trying to find a way to like themselves.
Yeah.
I think that if we like ourselves, if we befriend ourselves, then all things are possible. Mm-hmm. In other words, if you're the person who you would want as a friend, who you would respect as a friend, who you would look up to as a friend, if you're that person, then your intrapersonal is going really well.
Yeah.
And when you have your intrapersonal going really well, then you can do interpersonal really well. Mm-hmm. And then lots of great things happen as a result of that positive sort of feedback loop. But I think the way that that's established is by doing the right thing when it's hard, by doing the right thing when others won't, by always, ethics is almost like what you'll what you do when nobody's watching.
Yeah.
But you're always watching.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And you know your game.
Yeah.
And if you know, hey, you know, when no one was watching, I did the right thing.
Yep.
Then you're like, you're a good dude.
Yeah. And then you have a moment.
You're a good dude.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you. You know, I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
And that's better than like your dad being proud of you.
Yes.
Or your mom or whatever. Like those tend to be the ones that you really want to be proud of you.
Yeah.
But I think it's even better for you to be proud of you.
Yes.
And if you can build that in young people, then the world is their oyster.
Yeah. We spend a lot of time. It's about who you are when you look in the mirror.
Yeah.
We're not going to make the choice for you. You make a choice and then you look yourself in the mirror and see what you think. That's part of it.
Yeah, it's powerful.
It is. It is. Well, I think we did it. That's what my mother used to say.
That's a wrap.